You will be given a test to determine your ability to withstand shock.
What the fuck are you watching?
I mean, what was left wasn't even a body.
What the fuck are you watching?
What the fuck are you watching?
The most terrifying form of evil is that which lurks within the human mind.
What the fuck are you watching?
Rated X.
Welcome to What the Fuck Are You Watching? We're a weekly movie podcast exploring the disturbing, the extreme, and everything in between. I'm Chris, and this is motherfucking Silus.
Yo, what up?
Hey, Silus.
Hi.
We got a super special episode today. We are chatting with the director of BRADLEE, Zak Ferguson. Hey, Zak.
Hey, hello. It's always fucking awkward. It's like, how do you introduce yourself? Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
That's usually what I go with, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How's it going? I directed this movie. I always wanted to come across like John Walters because he's so articulate, so camp, so fresh. And then you hear my fucking southern accent, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's what you sound like."
It's a lot better than our southern accents.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Shouldn't be sounding crazy over here.
Yeah.
I was raised by Northerners and Kentuckians, so my voice is all fucked up.
You've got a nice blend, though, Silas. You've got a perfect blend.
Thanks.
You know, it's articulate, it's smooth, but if a motherfucker fucks with you, I can imagine it will be raging, get off my fucking lawn!
Yeah, turn full ghetto real quick.
The only one that's gonna fuck Mary Bell here is Paul.
On her wedding day. To Paul.
Sorry about that.
Y'all got anything festive for the occasion? I'm drinking.
Oh,
Angry Orchard Headless Pumpkin.
Damn.
And it's delicious.
Is that the pack that had the Jason on it? Yeah. I've been meaning to get
Are you going to
that.
collect it? Are you going to clean it out and just be a proper nerd about it?
I already cleaned out one can of each of the 4 flavors and put it up on the shelf.
No. But that's the whole fucking appeal of it, you know. If you see a motherfucker like denting it against their head, there's a fucking problem. It's like, well, why did you buy it then?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the box, because the box is where it's really at. The box glows in the dark. It's cool as shit.
Really? Dang.
Oh, mate, just frame it. Just try and
I need to find a spot up there on the... Because we have these shelves in our den that go up and over and around the entire kind of part of the room where you can put little display things, but it can only be so tall. It can't be super huge or anything. But we do have a pack up there from I think it was last Halloween. We got this really cool thing that we found, and it was like a pack of hard ciders similar to the Angry Orchard kind of thing, but it was called Trick or Treat, and it was like a limited edition thing where each can had some artwork of a cryptid on it. So it had Mothman and the Jersey Devil and some stuff like that. But out of the pack, I think it was 6 cans, and 4 of them were treats and 2 of them were tricks. So the trick cans tasted fucking disgusting.
Oh,
you
no.
could not drink them.
What?
And it was supposed to be kind of like a party thing. So it's you would do it with your friends, right? And then you could drink. Everybody grabs one, and then 2 people happen to be the ones that get the bad ones. And it sucks in the sense that it's a little bit of a wasted product, but it wasn't expensive, and it was a really cool Halloween party gimmick. And I still have the cans up on our shelf with the box because the artwork was really cool for the little cryptid guys.
Yeah, you go really hard on Halloween in America. It's really fucking boring in the UK.
Oh, really?
It's pathetic. We're pathetic. It's just not a holiday anymore for us. Like we've got our version of Walmart, and It's Asda here, and it's they just bring out a couple of like generic Ghostface masks, but legally they're not Ghostface. It's like a replica type shit.
Oh wow!
And it's just there's no energy behind it. There's no push for it. But I've realised that the Fanta company, or is it another company? Anyway, another soft drink company's putting out limited edition bottles where we have Chucky, Jason, Freddy, and the artwork is gorgeous, and they're really pushing with it. And I was thinking, yeah, motherfuckers, well, lean into that a little bit more each year. So, but like, we're really lame ducks when it comes to Halloween.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
It's pathetic.
Well,
it's and the thing is, it's not even like it's not even a holiday. It's not even a holiday, and the whole mood of trick or treat now is get the sweets in the off chance that someone's going to knock on your door.
Oh yeah,
and we're just leading ourselves up for failure because people will, especially the older generation, they're like, I want to give children sweeties, and it's like, don't do that, Bert. Oh, why? Because you're a fucking paedophile. And that's the only type of people you see buying candy is dirty old men, and it's like, oh great.
Hell yeah.
Spit my beer out on that.
The products, like, we get lots of cool Halloween products over here each year, I'd say, but like in terms of Halloween itself, and I'm sure it's regional, I'm sure it's different depending on where you're at, but like where I am, it's definitely, and for a lot of people, it's definitely a shell of its former self.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I remember people being like really, really active when I was growing up, and we had some really great trick or treats and big, awesome, very community building kind of stuff. And people went all out. We had people coming up to our porches in like really like kids and adults as families in really elaborate costumes. I think we had like nurses from Silent Hill. We had like some people dressed as like little sisters from BioShock. We had we had really cool stuff. We had really cool stuff back then. All kinds of awesome stuff. Not just like the store-bought simple stuff, just like homemade things, but now it's just like it's so dead, and like we do have a little bit of activity in the area that Chloe and I live in, so we try to like really do it up and go all out on Halloween and give out cool stuff. I usually bring home a bunch of like discarded books from the local library, like old Goosebumps books and things, and make sure
cool.
So the kids can get like candy and like some kind of cool takeaway or something.
Damn, Silus is so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, man, be my neighbor.
Last year we also did like adult trick or treat, so they could walk inside the like actual front door of the house into the living room, and there was like a box full of older horror flicks, like duplicates and rental stuff I was getting rid of, and then like a little bowl full of fireball shooters. So we let the parents come in and pick like a scary movie and a shooter, and then the kids got like a book and candy outside and
wow. That's sick. I hope that the Goosebumps is with the original covers, because they've reissued them in the UK and they look like shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't believe how much they fuck with the because they already have such iconic artwork. I don't really see why they like regionally reissue them with new artwork like everywhere else, because it's not just the UK, it's like everywhere
have they done it everywhere?
US, a ton of places get like different covers. It's really interesting.
It's but yeah, because it's such a staple of Halloween. It's those sick ass covers, It's the covers that screamed at you, and it's the embossed font on those books. And and ever since, I can't remember what the spin-off series was called. It was like Horrorland. Am I wrong? Horrorland, something along those lines.
Yeah, that's a current one. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've shifted all of the marketing in the UK to that aesthetic, and it is an aesthetic. It's not just the style of the art. It's almost like everything is uniformly, but it just doesn't feel goosebumpy anymore.
Yeah.
So you really have to go to like secondhand bookshops to find these amazing covers, that you would get in your library as a kid. But weird thing to bring up, but I think Goosebumps is very fucking seminal in a lot of young horror fans' lives.
That's That's probably why I'm here, for better or worse.
Yeah.
It's fucking goosebumps. In terms of the covers that got like regionally replaced or whatever, one of the countries I think that did it kind of cool. You should check out the I don't know how many of them you can find, but you can Google some of the Japanese covers for the Goosebumps books, and they had some pretty cool artwork. But
Oh, really? Damn.
I think out of all the ones I've seen, like some of them aren't bad. Some of them regionally, I think it's seeing what other artists try to do with it, like it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But like obviously the Tim Jacobus covers in the States are like the iconic ones, and then
Is he still
out.
alive and working?
he is, but not with Goosebumps. But yeah, he goes to a lot of he's entered the age now where he gets a lot of pull for going to like cons and things. I actually met him at a Comic-Con in 2018 or so, I think.
Oh,
and,
no way! Awesome.
got some stuff from him. I've got a big signed poster of his up in my office and a few smaller prints and things that I got from that. But yeah, he's still doing stuff. He actually this year, I was trying to find it when we were at Cinema Wasteland. There's this beer brand called Garage Beer, and it's just like really generic light beer. But like for some reason they did a cool Halloween collaboration with him where they had like the lime flavored beer. They had cases covered in Tim Jacobus art, and so it was very goosebumpsy, and it was really cool, and it was all green coated like the slime.
Whoever was working that department that year had their head screwed on. What are we gonna do with this generic lager or beer? Let's get this guy did Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, whatever pays the most now as well, I guess, because like so many artists who come from, publishing in like the dawn, there was a certain age where it was 80s, 90s, the horror boom when it was like picking up, not just within like the sectors of people who liked it, but like mainstream audiences were like, oh shit, this stuff exists in novel form. And you'd see all these people who their career would kickstart and then they survive now due to cons and conventions, due to the nostalgia and their popularity. But there's so many artists who are like, fuck doing all of that hard work. I'm just going to go to a con now and earn my earn my money that way. Like
right there on the floor.
Yeah, like the thing is, George A. Romero, he was earning megabucks just going to conventions because no one was giving him money to make movies. So he was just like, well, fuck it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I know that like it's kind of crazy. I think it's nice to see that it's feasible for up and comers to be able to do things like that with like going to artist alleys at cons and things. But at the same time, I know the ones that actually make good money off of it, all that they're really doing is like fan art. They're not actually getting to do their own stuff. Like because that's the only thing that really sells in the numbers that they can make it like a feasible living. And they're constantly on the road and traveling, and it's just like fan art. They don't get to just do their own thing,
Oh, damn.
So for me, that's just not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good, conventions and all that. It's a new thing for me. I usually make appearances through videos. Like my first actual main, like proper event is at the end of October in Prague. I'm doing a reading, and I'm showing Dying in Silence, and it was kind of like, I'm not going there to sell my wares, like if the money's gonna, if money is raised, just put it back into the event thing, because like a lot of indie artists and underground artists do it for the fucking passion. But if this is your bread and butter at the end of the day, that where certain people get themselves in that place, you do have to kind of, what is the saying? Yeah, take the check and fucking run.
Hell yeah.
But like so many like you go to these events, these conventions, and it's about networking and widening yourself and getting exposure. But I just hear some horrible, like heartbreaking stories where people are like, well, I came back and I didn't sell anything, and it's like, oh fuck. That's just it just tugs at you because it costs to get a table, it costs to stay, to travel, and unless you're you're going there outside of just like your wares, and you want to be there for the event for everyone else's tables. It's kind of heartbreaking. So I kind of set myself up to fail before I failed. I'm like, I don't want to make any money from this shit.
Yeah, I can see you spending more money than you make, like really easily.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing that I'm kind of like, a lot of people that are networking with me at the moment are like, oh, you need to go to cons, you need to go to these horror conventions in the UK. And I'm like, I've seen half the people that go to these conventions and the people that spend the money on the tables, bring their wares, they come back poorer.
Right, yeah.
And being the type of person who will see books, artwork, film.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm a collector. I'm an addict to that shit. I would probably come home and Laura would say to me, "You've maxed out the credit card," and I'd be like, "Yep."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do see the benefits of conventions, and a few people have reached out, which is fucking cool. Local based ones, like there's a Hastings Film Festival, and they're like, yeah, just screen your film, and if you've got any wares you want to share, and I'm like, no. I don't want to set myself up for failure. But if you want some stuff to, sell on for free, have it for free type shit. I'm the worst business person in the fucking world. Don't work with me. I bet Jacob B. Green. Yeah, well, Jacob B. Green's probably listened to this and he's going, "Motherfucker, why are you giving away your Blu-rays for free?"
Hell yeah, dude. Man.
Yeah, you navigate it in whatever fucking way you can, I guess. But I'm new to it. I'm a little tadpole at this stage, but yeah. But did you say both of you watched Bradley?
Yeah, we watched it last night.
Now this is really new to me because every other motherfucker that's had me on a podcast hasn't watched the film but made out they have. So this is a new thing for me.
Hell yeah. We'll have an episode on the watch through, along with this interview. So
sick. Well, it's fresh because everyone else is like, oh yeah, this film, da-da-da. And it's like, the more they talk, I'm like, you've not watched a fucking minute of it.
Yeah.
Like one guy, I'm like, Lynn Lowry's in it. It's like, motherfucker. She's in the fucking credits, dude.
Like the most pivotal vocal performance in the whole thing,
Exactly.
Real.
Like the only character that actually fucking talks.
Shit.
No,
whole
but we're very
storyline. Yeah,
yeah. The whole story is through her dialogue sequences. I mean, if we didn't have Lynn Lowry talking, giving exposition upon exposition upon exposition, I think the film would have been 10 times harder for anyone to watch. So well done for getting through it, gentlemen. I feel sorry for you, Silus, because you're involved as a executive producer. You're one of the main proponents of why this movie got fucking finished.
I told him it's my deal. I definitely I kind of told them going in because when I first got into this podcast before I got on as a host, they had watched some stuff that was like kind of similar to that in the sense of like kind of the mode you have to be in to watch it, and it's just it's very much a departure from like a standard cinema experience, and I kind of described it as almost like a visual art piece, rather like almost like a cinematography based sort of what would you like a filmography installation or something. You totally get it. Yeah, just a traditional film. And something that, you can kind of like plug in and kind of psychotically trudge through, but it makes a lot more sense to do that if you're watching it alone, because that's when you're actually going to pick up all the details and actually get immersed in the story or whatever. It's almost the kind of movie where, for me, it feels like the proper way to watch Bradley, if you actually want to like invest yourself in it, would be to like sit there and watch it on a laptop with headphones in a dark room and just like, be kind of catatonic in the state, just glued to it for the
You have
entirety
to
of the runtime.
Yeah, you have to be consumed by it. Because I watched it on my flat screen TV with speakers, and I just even as the man who made it, I just unplugged. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Because I edited it on my phone. All of the score and all of the sound effect proponents, it was all done through headphones. So those specific like beats and things paired up with the visuals, it just works on a more consuming level. Like Silus just said, I think it's better if you do watch it with headphones in or earbuds, because it forces you in a lot of ways to be consumed by it. And maybe that should have been something that we should have put at the beginning of the film.
Wear headphones.
Well, I definitely noticed with our watch that, because I had watched it. I'd watched the stuff you had sent me when I was giving feedback way back, but then like the final cut,
which was very helpful.
I
half the
watched
shit I couldn't do.
Oh yeah, no, it's. I think it turned out cool. But I watched the director's cut when I first got it in the mail, and then I listened to, and in and out watched the standard cut with the commentary, just like I did today. And then last night, like actually kind of watching through the standard cut, which we were talking and carrying on and doing our thing the whole time and just making a hangout. But even then, I still picked up a lot more. I don't know, different like subtleties and different like channels in terms of like the audio mixing that I definitely didn't watching it on the TV. So it's a whole different experience doing it that way. And I think it makes a little sense because it feels like it needs to kind of like tickle your brain a little bit while you're watching it for it to really be effective. So
yeah.
Took a fucking cheese grater to my brain.
Yeah, well, that was the whole intention, really. I just wanted to tell a film that was very untraditional, but also I really wanted to stick it to like loads of filmmakers that have gone out their way on public platforms and have said you can do it on your phone, you can do it this way, you can do it that way, and I'm like, yeah, but motherfucker, you come from a silver spoon background type thing. It's like we have filmmakers like Spike Lee and all these other people saying, hey, you can make it on a phone. It's like, but I'm not seeing you do it on a phone. So, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to fucking do this on my phone for free. Well, it's really fucking hard to make a movie with no budget. It was near impossible. So that's why we went in the whole Indiegogo direction. That's a whole other fucking story. That was just a fucking mess from the beginning.
Oh, damn.
Because of let's just say the motherfucker whose name is at the front of the movie fucked me over.
Oh.
Fucked me over royally. And in future editions of BRADLEE, it will be Psychonaut Presents and not whoever's fucking name is at the front of that movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's the person who earned that present is Silus. I will be screaming this till the end of days, but yeah, that movie was a fuck about, but I stuck to my guns and I made what I wanted to make in the end, but I think I got bogged down by expectations and what I thought people wanted to see. But, when you just go with your gut instinct, that's where it better serves you. Also, it was helped that Jacob B. Green was like, well, where the fuck is this whole standard cut, director's cut mentality coming from? I'm like, well, the motherfucker who wants his name all over this movie for doing fuck all. And he was like, nah, fuck that. He was like, nah, fuck that. He was like, do a standard cut if you want and do a director's cut. And then me and Silas did have a conversation at one point where we thought, actually, there could be a standard cut which could be a little bit easier on the audience. And then the director's cut can just be full-fledged, balls to the wall, do your weird experimental shit and make people's ears bleed.
Yeah.
And I like that it exists as two versions because, first of all, the standard cut is quotation marks an easier watch, but also the director's cut is there where you can go, oh, okay, I can understand. This is what he wanted to do, and it was all edited on my fucking phone. It was trial and error throughout all of it. It was. a resolution nightmare uploading it onto Google Drive, losing shit on Google Drive, not having original materials. I think I even like hit up Silus numerous times, like, hey, what is that draft I sent you? And he's like, well, like, you've sent me 10. Like, what one? I'm like, well, can you reshare the one I shared with you? Because I really need to get some good high-resolution footage for my film. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, well, that mentality is great because he downloaded it, obviously, and kept it, whereas my computer is like, it doesn't exist. And this guy who was meant to be producer, every time I'd reach out and say, all these drafts I've sent you, can you send me the footage? I haven't got any. Oh, well, thank you for your help. You know what I mean? So it was just, yeah, it was fuckery from the beginning. He basically saw it as an opportunity to skim money from this campaign as a producer's fee. Well, he did fuck all to earn a producer credit. He did fuck all to earn his fee. And it became quite apparent throughout the process that he had spent the money straight away and kept coming up with excuses. And I thought, okay, I'll entertain you. But when it got to the point that he was lying, like, oh, PayPal is glitching. Oh, this amount of money takes 2 weeks to go through PayPal. It's like, look, motherfucker, I've got your number. I know what you're doing. You've spent it. Because every time you go to these events, you sell Blu-rays yourself, and then you all of a sudden have money that you can send me. I said, don't touch that fucking money. I said, do not touch that money until everything is done, until we've fulfilled our perks, until we've done our due diligence. And then as soon as I got involved with an actual professional like Jacob B. Green, he said, this isn't adding up. And I said, okay, it's not adding up. He said, we're going to do this thing our way. The agreement's between us. We will do this. So then when it came to, can you send me the money for the perks? This motherfucker's like, what money? I'm like, the money that I told you to set aside for the perks. Oh yes. And I'm like, no, you spent it. I said, I've had enough of this.
Hell yeah, dude.
I said, you've spent it, you absolute shit cunt. And, you know, the motherfucker shit his pants because I said, I'm taking it public. I said, I do not give a fuck. I'm taking this public. You thought I was some fucking idiot. So this geezer is also, you know, he's doing it with a lot of people, trying to get them to have him deal with the whole Indiegogo thing because he liked to think he was an expert. Our Indiegogo fucking sucked. It sucked. It looked like fucking shit. It had just one image of a masked BRADLEE, and then the things that he was putting up as images, and then all this, and then he was acting as if he was an expert, and then this is a thing that really bugged me from the beginning. He kept trying to get credit where he didn't deserve it, so I gave him loads of footage to put together for a reel, and before I know it, I see that he's giving himself credits on fucking BRADLEE, and I'm like, what have you done? Oh, I edited together that show reel for BRADLEE. So that means I'm editor of BRADLEE. No, you're not. You haven't touched the fucking film. And I had like a mental breakdown to Silus numerous times who talked me off the ledge. And he said, look, there's loads of people like this. They want to get as much credit for very little work. It's like nip it in the bud now, or it will, you know, it will spill over. And I took the balls by the rein and gave all of the issue to Laura. And my Laura, she's tenacious, and she works in government, the local government, so she knows how to compose a really damning, scathing email or two.
Oh hell yeah!
So she basically put him in his place and said, "You're going to give us all that money back, or this will be going public." And he threatened us with a NDA. I will only give it back to you if you sign an NDA. So we went, sure thing, buddy. Anyway, it took 3 months for him to pay us back almost $2,500, which is 2,500. And when it came to the time, I said, I'm not signing no NDA. I'm leaving it here. I'm not going to out you. I'm not going to voice my utter, you know, disappointment in you. Don't fucking do this shit again. And then all of a sudden he blocked me, so it's that thing of, oh, what's the motherfucker saying about me? At the end of the day, I don't care because he's in the wrong. I've got the receipts to prove it. And then Jacob got hold of me 2 months into the release of BRADLEE and went, why is this company selling BRADLEE Blu-rays? I went, what? He went, did you give them Blu-rays? I went, no, I haven't got my Blu-rays yet. He went, well, this company's got a pre-order up for BRADLEE Blu-rays.
The fuck?
And I went, oh, well, it's that geezer. So Jacob got hold of them and went, what are you doing? And this person went, oh, I'm so sorry, we haven't got the Blu-rays, but the pre-order's up, but nothing's come of it. He promised us Blu-rays and we had a deal. And it was like, oh, so he's got money off of them, off the back end of BRADLEE, promise of Blu-rays. So yeah, this guy is a absolute shyster. So if you watch BRADLEE and his name appears at the beginning of the film, don't work with him, don't fucking trust him. And if he keeps leaning on the whole fucking autistic thing, fuck you, buddy. I'm autistic. That doesn't make you, that doesn't make you free from taking the piss out of fucking people.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
We are the Autism Council.
Yeah, the High Council.
And we say nay.
High Council. Yeah, no. So yeah, it was and it really stymied my.
It's gone well off list.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's just like it really stymied my whole relationship with the film. I just fucking hated it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to touch it. I found it really difficult to find any pride in it. But looking back on it now, it's look, it ain't a fucking masterpiece. It's shot on a fucking Galaxy phone. That's out of focus half the fucking time. But I leaned into the whole lo-fi nature of it. If the resolution was shit, I made it look shitter. I really wanted it to feel like you were inside this fucked up guy's head visually. So I thought, when it came to a place where I was putting in the higher resolution footage that, sadly people like Silus had to cater to because I couldn't pay for extra storage on Google Drive. Like Silus said, dude, the resolution's fine. It's fine as it is. It works. And I was like, you know what? Yes, it fucking does. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it look uglier.
Hell yeah.
I definitely think it does. And it holds up too. It looks great on the Blu-ray. I don't see anything upon rewatch that feels like it's been like bit crushed or has any kind of like artifacting that seems like unintentional. I think it definitely reads across very well. But I also kind of said, because I think Morir is that one is shorter, right?
Yeah, that's 96 minutes, and that's a real no-budget movie. That's a movie that's pretty much like I'm re-establishing what the fuck I'm doing here.
Well, when I was talking about the length of BRADLEE, I was also talking about how I think for you, in terms of getting your bearings as a filmmaker, it was very much almost like a brain vomit of a movie for the sake of getting like all these like technical ideas and kind of techniques and experimentations out into some sort of visual medium and picking apart the things that really work and the things that are the strongest and then continuing to use that to kind of like cull that experience down to a more I guess like a more succinct or controlled thing for the for the films to come, Yeah,
to its fundamentals, really. Yeah, to its base elements, like because the whole thing with perfectly summarized, it's like my writing as well. It's a regurgitation of everything that I've got on my mind, on my chest, and I just splatter that shit onto the canvas. And then I offer it out to people, and then go, "Oh, why are you sniffing at it? Why is your lip curling?" Because it's excessive. It's messy, it's chaotic, but it's fucking raw and it's honest. But with Moir, it's down to its bare elements, and it's that video installation mentality as well. I thought I want to make a video installation movie because no motherfucker's gonna be putting my videos up in a gallery. So I thought let's just make a movie that feels like you're walking into a gallery space. And a lot of that feeling was in BRADLEE. It just isn't as experimental with the ratios. But I'm really glad that you picked up on all of that stuff because when you're making shit, and you probably like, you know, any creative person themselves, you know, you take in all the glory and all of the perspective that people phrase for you, and then you see these connotations and you take the credit and go, yeah, that is the idea from the beginning. But with a lot of what you said, it is subconscious. You only realise until someone a little bit more succinct like you, Silus, tells you. But no, I think with Bradley, it was so much was in there that I wanted to do. I was also really excited about Danny Boyle's 28 Years Later when I was making it, and I was just like, oh well, this motherfucker, you know, his chaotic style of editing is what really got me going when I was younger. You know what I mean? That energy, that almost punk rebellion. Like I always say that Danny Boyle movies feel like blues in the edit. It's very scatter. But once you get the tempo, you get the rhythm, you get the beat, it becomes a sustained thing, and it builds to a crescendo. And I was kind of like, yeah, fuck, I want to do that. And in the back of my head, I'm going, yeah, I'm going to outsmart you, Danny Boyle. And then you see what they do on fucking 28 Years Later, and you just feel like a fucking fool.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up, using phones for a bunch of shots in that, too. I remember seeing that insane rig with all the different phones doing
crazy,
kind of like crazy, like
really?
3/4 kind of thing to capture those like headshots on the zombies in the forest. And,
and it was literally
that was really
like
wild.
It was like a halved bullet time thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they just gave the full panoramic thing, and like it was just crazy what he did. And Anthony Dodd Mantle, his cinematographer, who he's worked with a lot. And he's done a lot of Lars von Trier films. That guy, his cinematography and his versatility, like that the stuff that he does, man, it blows your socks off. Whether he's working with phones or like professional cameras or red cameras or iPhones that they're using, he always lends it that cinematic scope. And I know a lot of people have watched 28 Days Later on Blu-ray and went, oh fuck. It's awful. I don't think it looks that bad. You know, the movie looks the way it's meant to fucking look.
I love the way that film looks.
Like, it wouldn't be fucking 28 Days Later.
Yeah, well, it's shot on, like, shitty old digital camcorder style video. Like, it's not, it's not meant to be this, like, super high fidelity thing. It never was. And also, the first 28 days, it's very dreamlike and surrealistic in certain aspects, with kind of the forced perspective and the weird, kind of like superimposed imagery and stuff that they do in some scenes and sequences in that film. And it does remind me a lot of like some of your work in Bradley. But what I was curious about too, when I was listening to the commentary, and I know you said, you probably don't remember a lot of what you were talking about, but you had said at some point that you really liked the shots that Laura pulled off while she was helping you. And you were like, I don't think I can do that part very well. I'll need to hire a cinematographer the next time if I get the budget for a bigger project. But I think even if you did
Laura is now my cinematographer, whether she wants to be or not.
Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, even if you had some, like, the primary shooting or the key shooting with the cinematography that way, I do think that your editing and your videography skills is just out of this world as far as
thank you.
And I think that that's what I like the most about Bradley. Obviously, it's in a different category, right? Because it's the sort of thing that is made for like the minutia-driven psychos like me that love these like really long-form, like avant-garde or artsy nonsense kind of pictures. Yeah. But like, I think that seeing your skills with editing and videography and just the general sense of like artistic composition and overlaying and the things that you do on this project applied to maybe not even one of your future ones, but like someone else's more like narrative driven, like composed, like movie kind of movies, but having like your style and flair applied to that.
Well,
as,
I have done that before.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
I have done that. I've when was it? I don't know if you know Kenji Shiratori. He's a notorious Japanese musician and writer, and he did a album not that long ago, and he hit me up and went, "Would you like to do something visual based for this, like an accompanying movie?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh shit! Really?
So
Wow.
I did it, and it was like 34 minutes, and it was basically taking public domain footage and just creating my own narrative. That's where I started with my my experimental stuff. I just took public domain stuff or stuff that I knew that I could manipulate enough that I wouldn't get in shit.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the collage mentality. So you just cut things out and you reassemble them, and legally, so far, it hasn't harmed me with my books I've published. You have free reign, and it's like the collage artist's thing. But I have done it for a select handful. I've worked with a amazing Irish poet called Fran Locke, who I really want to do almost a experimental documentary about her, because she has such a fascinating story, her poetry, and I'm not a big poetry reader, you know. I'm a pop cultural slut, you know. If anyone asks me what would you prefer, go to an art gallery and watch Tilda Swinton sleep for 12 hours, or would you want to watch a Michael Bay film? I'd always choose Michael Bay.
Yeah, definitely.
But with Fran, her poetry is so transcendental, and I just thought what I was doing visually paired with her work, and she agreed. So it all started from a place of, no one wants to do shit for me as actors or collaborators, so I'm just going to take footage that I can get away with making. And it just kicked off, you know. My popularity grew in the Prague micro festival scenes, and that's what really pushed me forward. But I'm more than happy to work with the right people, though, because I've had a few people that, most recently, Rodney, I was assembling Rodney like I was doing Bradley, you know, very on the fly. People send me remote footage and I fuck with it. I kind of try and build a story out of what material others provided me. So I went along the lines of doing this, and one woman who got involved with the project started feeling like it was her project. She was feeling an ownership over the footage that I was cutting together. Now, given that I sent her almost 20 pages worth of script and she didn't stick to it and just did what she wanted, it was a bit of a hard ask, you know what I mean? But I put things together, I assembled it, and on the sly, behind my back, she was telling my lead actor, I'm going to take this footage and use it for myself. And he was like, what? Hold on. You're going to do what? He's like, ask Zak. Zak would be more than willing to edit shit together for you, which I did ages ago for a book event for her. But then she just started getting quite possessive over the movie, like it was her thing, because she was filming herself sucking dildos on a wall.
Oh,
and I'm
hell
like,
yeah.
sweetheart, it was all right, but about 40 minutes worth of it, I couldn't do much with it. And she was just talking as if it was high art, like she was pushing the format, and then it was becoming possessive over it. And it was just, I came to realize that there's so many people who are so advantageous, and they see something in what I'm doing with my edits. And I'm not egotistical in thinking what I do is special, but I know what I do is it's unique enough to go, oh shit, Zak did that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, what I would say is that so my whole thing that I always hate about how siloed the indie film scene is that most of the people working in our spaces in the overlap they're so specific about things that they tend to just keep to themselves and do their own thing. So they just kind of make like a huge catalog of movies that is like all of their specialty. You know what I mean? It doesn't ever kind of like cross over across streams and become this kind of really powerful thing where I think if all those people got those bits and bobs of what makes them so special and the things that they have those strong suits in, and they put those things together in a collaborative project. It would be crazy to see what that could be. But for you specifically, I think that we've actually given other filmmakers who we interviewed on here before, we've talked about how, like, oh, I think your film is great, you're really great storytellers, you do really great stuff with this, but you got to work on sound and lighting, right? Like sound and lighting. And for you, there's no point in Bradley where I'm just like, this guy doesn't understand sound and lighting, because it's very much like such a auditory and visually like driven experience, right? And it's like, and it's so much more competent and adept in those ranges, in a way that most people within the indie film scene, those are oftentimes their weakest points, and I think that it's unfortunate that that is the case, because I dream team this stuff in my head of like how cool of a movie we could make if like everybody was on board and they were this fucking thing together, right? And everybody had their own part to play, but like it's actually funny, because what I was going to get to with the videography thing with like, oh, you should do stuff with other people's films and be the creative lead or blah, 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 or the aesthetic lead. I was going to ask if you had ever thought about or had done any music videos for anybody. So the Kenji Soritori project. That's really funny to hear, because that sounds like you already did it. You already just now moved into and did that stuff.
Yeah, it's but it's that thing. It's that thing of Kenji's a legend, because he's just like, I like your shit. Go ahead, do what you want. I give it to him, and he just goes, love it. That's it. That belief, that total belief, is kind of dangerous, I think, for a filmmaker or creator. But I think I've got enough of awareness about my limitations and awareness that, I've gone on to podcasts recently, or since Bradley, and people have pulled me up on my lackadaisical sense concerning my work. Some people have said to me, you don't seem to take it too seriously. I said, well, if I start taking it too seriously, you would have a 14-hour podcast. Not only would you have a 14-hour podcast, you would go, oh my God, this guy is so full of himself. So, you want to try and tread the boards in a certain way. Like, you don't want to make it too squeaky to piss people off, but you still want to get to the fridge to get a can of beer. You know what I mean? It's it's so hard to tread in this climate now, and I think it's just about being honest now. Like, if people feel that I'm lackadaisical about it, it's because I don't have an ego about it. Because I think it's dangerous, because you get a sense of, I've been exposed to people with egos concerning their work. The person who has his name in front of Bradley, that this individual made one movie that was fairly successful, given he fucked me over on the music on that project as well, and I should have known better. But I'm all about the creativity, about finding my brothers and my people, and I think I'm a little bit too honest, I'm a little bit too open, so I make myself a little bit susceptible. So then when you come to the realization that that's a flaw in your character, my option is to laugh about it. So my whole lackadaisical sense is, I've got to laugh about it or I'll be fucking crying about it.
Right.
But I do.
For real.
But
detachment is your best friend.
Totally.
Creative work, in collaboration,
totally,
and life,
and like this, and life in general. I think that you've got to laugh about it. Like Silus has said to me numerous times, it's just like I've got myself, and you're all right with me sharing this. You said to me, well, I'm going to say it anyway. I've come to a point. I've come to a point where I can detach. I've come to a point where I'm in my own bubble. I get on with it. If I hear bullshit, whatever, it just passes me by. And, when you said that to me, I was just like, fuck, man, yes. That's the mentality that you need. Like, even though I'm pushing myself out with that personality on these podcasts and that, I didn't really feel like I was applying it to my personal life, which is, I think, where it's more important, because at the end of the day, what some shit cunt bastard saying on Facebook, that ain't reality. That's not reality.
Right.
Reality is, I've got a smelly fucking dog. I've got a put upon fiance who's like, I don't want to work on your films. It's not my thing. I'm like, yeah, but you're really fucking good at it, so you're gonna do it. But no, thanks for that compliment, man. It means a lot because work does go into it. You do get obsessive about it. Like to tip off the old Rodney thing. The whole reason Rodney stopped was it's a bigger endeavour, and everything that I kind of wished for Bradley, and a lot of what our conversation was about, Silus, about making the house more of a presence, more stripped down, looking like it's a squalor. All the ideas and elements there couldn't be put towards Bradley, but going forward it can be put towards Rodney, because Rodney is, it's titled in such a way where you go, Bradley, Rodney, are they of a piece? Yes, it's in the same world. It's almost a sequel. Okay. And it's a fucking hard movie though. It's got real masturbation in it. It's real self-harm. It's teetering edge damn. Where it's a bit fucking far. But when this woman was saying, "Oh, I want to take the footage for my own," it was kind of like, I've got to part ways with you here, because I want to work with people that want to be of a piece, want to be like-minded. Find your people that fucking get it. So we cut ties in that sense, and it wasn't negative to the degrees that it's like, oh, it's ruined my film, you've ruined my film, blah, 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 blah. She's just gone off in her corner and is still scratching at the doorpost about it, because I think she's realised she shot herself in the foot for thinking that it's a bright idea to try and get, my movie so that she can then screen it at her book events. Specifically her scenes. I mean, if she asked me with cap in hand, I like these as separate vignettes, can I use them? I would have said fuck yes, I am honoured. But because she went behind my back in such a circuitous, weird, sly manner, I just said it's one and done. I didn't have an argument. I said it's just not working here. The lead actor himself said he just felt like the mood was being brought down of him. Yeah. Now it's gone a little bit further, and the whole remote footage stuff, there was a bone of contention between me and Jacob, and I think me and Jacob, we're mates. At the end of the day, he would say, yeah, there is a bone of contention amongst us concerning the footage of Rodney, because I am of the belief that Rodney is a bigger endeavour, and I kind of got caught up in the whole machinations of what I was doing with Bradley towards Rodney, because I didn't have my actors with me. So I said to my lead actor, Rory, put in a stop. We're going to come back together next year, and we're going to come together in person. We're just going to shoot. We're just going to shoot. We're not going to put any fucking pressure on ourselves. We're just going to make the movie that we want to fucking make. We've got a script. We've got an outline. We know that we've got to stick to this outline and this script, because if you're going at it willy-nilly in the vein that we did with Bradley, this movie will never get made. So we're reconvening next year, springtime, and we're just going to make it as buddies, and it got a little bit too weighty, I think. I think a lot of pressure came up where there was expectations of it being a bigger, broader endeavour. Well, it is. We've got camera rigs. I've got a camera crane, a 9-foot camera crane in my outhouse screaming to be used. I've got all these devices which is going to elevate it. And I said to Jacob, I said, yeah, but the footage that I've shown to people of Rory playing Rodney in the teasers that I've put out, or the footage I've shared, they fucking love it. They're really into it. So I'm not going to sacrifice that remote footage just because you want it to be a little bit glossier. And it was a bit of a bone of contention, and it was kind of a bit of a pull and tug between us. But I think what Jacob sees for it is the movie that I'd always told him that I wanted to make. So I think I kind of confused the waters, where I was like, this is going to be bigger, it's going to be glossier, it's going to have camera rigs, it's going to have cranes, and he's getting about 15 minutes worth of a woman sucking a dick on a wall, filmed vertically on her phone. So it wasn't like the most like comforting footage for him, but it was all deliberate, because I wanted to Not that I've got an audience, but I like the idea that if anyone watched Bradley and enjoyed Bradley and they go, oh, look, Rodney, and they watch it and go, oh, it's the same shit as Bradley. Oh, he's not doing much. And then it transitions into the more glossier, professional, Kubrickian, symmetrical shots that I have in my head. Then it makes more sense as to why that remote footage is so integral. But it started as 50 minutes, and I've cut it down to 19. I'm planning on shaving it some more because I do want it to scream, because we have a bigger budget due to the success of the Indiegogo, due to Silus's contributions, due to Jacob's contributions. But as with every movie, you get fucked over. You get fucked over, or you realise, oh, I can't afford actors, because we had a couple of actors approach us, and they come from the indie horror scene, and they're making names for themselves where I think, well, you guys are probably going to be on Netflix, on Bridgerton in the next couple of years. Why do you want to be in this movie? You know what I mean? But they've approached, and they're like, money is no object for us. It's about the project, and you're doing something really unique. And I was like, okay, that's my people. I found my people.
Yeah.
So we're putting everything on hold until next year, because I'm still waiting for half of the equipment to come through. A lot of people gave me a lot of advice, like Liam Regan. I don't know if you've heard of Liam, but he makes some really good films. My Bloody Banjo, Eating Miss Campbell. And
I've heard the title of Eating Miss Campbell.
Yeah. He's almost an acolyte of Lloyd Kaufman.
Okay.
And he's doing I got to pronounce this correctly because I always fuck it up. Refuse films. I used to call it refuse films because I thought, well, one man's refuse is another man's gold, and he was like, no, it's refuse. It's
What?
refuse, as in
Okay,
refuse.
yeah, I follow refuse films.
So-
Yes.
And
sure.
what he's doing is what he's doing is fucking amazing. You know, he's making his own little trauma enterprise in the UK, and he's actually getting to put out Frank Henenlotter's Frankenhooker. Recently, he put out in a gorgeous restoration, and he's building an empire for himself. So he said to me, I always recommend that you hire equipment out, and I went, no. He was like, what do you mean no? I was like, I'm buying it for myself. And he's like, oh, why? I said, because I haven't got the money to hire. Also, if I have that equipment, then it means I've got it. So nothing's stopping me. So that's why I'm able to make a movie in between now and when we start Rodney, which is a zombie movie called Norm. So with all of this equipment that's coming is also going to be put towards Norm. So everyone who did contribute on the Indiegogo through Norm or has been involved with Rodney will get a credit on the movie in recognition for, making me able to afford this equipment so I can make better movies. And it's but this, the real saving grace is this Sony Handycam 8. I am fucking in love with this video camera. It's what I wanted to do with Bradley was give it that video camera feel sometimes with the restoration and the grading and the grain. I don't need to do all that work in editing now, man. It's all there on the camera. So I'm really having a really wild time using that on the segments of Rodney that I am filming. Also for Norm. But now that I've got this camera equipment, I've got cranes, there's no stopping me putting this like 1989 camera on a 9-foot crane and throwing it about.
Oh yeah, dude.
I can do the Dutch camera angles. I can pretend I'm Sam Raimi.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all because of the people that helped us in the Indiegogo with Rodney. Whereas with Bradley, all of the finances went towards the perks. That was the real setup. None of this money is going to go towards the movie per se. But then it got to a stage where it's like, I have no fucking money. I can't finish this film. And Silus appeared like an angel and was like, au contraire, brother. And he also sent me some amazing props. That fucking cut up baby and the silicon baby, which is going to get a going to be featured more in Rodney, and probably even in Norm. You know, I'm going to fucking use that prop to its max. But because of your contributions, Bradley became a reality. I don't think I would have had a career unless you got involved, because when you did that marketing material on the posters, brother, that's where it got people's attention. I know that still frame of Bradley with the mask was really leaned on too early, but when you started putting out that plethora of materials and you were so in tune aesthetically, thematically, stylistically of what it was, it pushed it and it got it recognised. And, you know, I'm not making movies because of my temerity and my enthusiasm. It was born of your passion as well. So I owe you a lot, my brother. I really do.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, I put a lot of passion into those pieces because I was
they're fucking beautiful
about the project. And again, I kind of like with Bradley, one of the things I want listeners to know, and we plugged, that Tarnished Vision had copies and everything in the watch through episode, and I'm sure we'll do it again here in the show notes. But the whole thing I was trying to get across is like I want people to give movies like this a chance, because I think it is just like it's all about the headspace that you go into it with and what type of a watch experience you want to get. Because I see Bradley as like a visual smorgasbord and like a powerhouse of like showing off the chops of like a burgeoning creative. And it's one of those things where like regardless of where it stacks up as you put out film after film after film, I could tell pretty much immediately that I thought, oh, okay, this guy's got real passion and he's not like burnt out and beaten down by life like a lot of other people are, and it feels like he's gonna.
Oh, it's happened, and you've been on the short end of the stick.
Oh, I know, but like it doesn't seem like it knocks you down enough like it does some other people. I mean, some people are still trying to make shit while they're just surviving, and like your stuff feels like it's really, regardless of what your personal situation is, it still feels like the stuff you're doing is thriving, and it feels like it's on an upward trajectory. And the thing with the equipment, I mean, that just makes me think that even more. And I'm the same way when it comes to art stuff and anything that I use, whether it was like stuff I bought for podcast equipment or whatever. It's like I have been trying to build it up by just living like a fucking bum and being poor as shit long enough to buy the equipment I want instead of trying to like rent it or take a shortcut through some like shady third party thing. Like, I've done everything I can just to have it on my own because it gives me so much more control in the end. It's worth it to only be able to afford like a fucking gas station fountain drink for a couple weeks or whatever, and like, that's fine. That's what it has to be. But, back to kind of talking about the viewing experience for something like Bradlee, I will say after watching them so close back to back with the standard and the director's cut, despite the length, and I know that's going to probably sound crazy to Chris and like other people who can't stomach like the length of movies like this, I honestly going back through it, I think the director's cut is the only fucking way to watch it. I genuinely, I can't believe how much more exposition there is within the confines of that cut. I am actually curious about what your approach was with the standard cut, because it seems like you prioritized the visuals over the narrative with the things that were cut specifically from the standard. And that's not a criticism. I'm just curious, what was
brother, you shit on the movie if you want to, please. Because I think that's...
For me, the director's cut, every extra monologue we get, both from Lynn and both from Cassiopo and his awesome performance and like all the other stuff that we get there, it really adds a lot more for me in terms of like engagement, as far as like getting into the character and the lore and the overall overarching story, and the being able to engage with it despite the very like non-traditional way of presenting it. But with the standard, it is a very cool visual showcase, but I think that there is something there that for me is lost as like oh, this is more of the casual viewer's experience, but it has less of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was curious, did you just think at the time that you wanted more of the visual stuff to be encapsulated for newcomers?
Oh god, it's gonna sound fucking just me just bad mouthing people. The producer who isn't a producer, who fucked me over, was determined to get the movie on streaming platforms. Really wanted to get that uploaded in Film Hub and get his 50%, which he always reminded me he was going to get from the standard cut. So I cut a standard cut merely because I thought, okay, it needs to be a little bit forgivable, and the thing is, he didn't even give me any pointers as to why it needs to be shorter, what the rules are of Film Hub to get it uploaded. I didn't. It was just, it needs to be shorter, it needs to be digestible, and basically just saying really stupid shit he'd obviously read up on Wikipedia that big head honcho producers have said in the last 20 years, and just applied it to our conversation, thinking it made him sound smart and businesslike.
Okay. Hell yeah.
But then it got to a point where I was like, you know what, if I do a standard cut, it will be for the people who just want a really visual, gory, head-trippy thrill ride, almost as if leaning into the whole basement-dwelling freak who masturbates over these types of films. You know what I mean? It's it's one of the fellow people who's like, oh, there's something kinky about this. You know, truncate it that it is digestible. But I agree. The director's cut is how it's meant to be, and the story, even though it's untraditional. Like, I'm interested with Chris. Like, how did you digest it?
Okay, I will admit it was a little long. All right.
Yeah. Go for it. Just go for it. I would not cry. I will not cry on this podcast.
Right. Wouldn't be the first time somebody cried on the podcast, but there were segments that like really did kind of get me hooked. Like, I really like the like all the little animation segments and stuff. And then my attention would kind of start to wane, and then something else would pull me back in, like sucking a severed penis. You know, that's gonna get me every time.
I knew that would go down a tree.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I do kind of want to check out the director's cut. Now that Silus says it's the only way to watch it.
I think it's like Silas said, you get more of the gist of, and I mean, like, if you don't want to plug into it with your headphones, just break it down like it's some like serialized, fucked up, creepy pasta thing online. You know what I mean? Maybe do it in 20-minute slots. But the director's cut, going back to what Silas wanted to know, was with the director's cut, it was really interesting what you said. You said it's interesting that there's a lot of telling, not showing. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And I tried to insert visual motifs, like with one of Bradlee's victims having a cock slapped across her face, and I muddied the footage and processed it so it looked almost like a melting oil painting, but also like it was kind of riven. So I don't know if you noticed, when Laura has the penis shoved in her face, it like merges into her face. I wanted to kind of create these visual motifs, almost surrealistic, Salvador Dali styled visuals by the most rudimentary editorial elements that I could. And I did this all on my phone. All of it was on my phone, on a free editing app. And a lot of people go, oh, shit, really? Yes, really. That was the whole point of it. And it's a certain stylistic thing. Like, a lot of people are lazy. They won't discover much on an app, because what an app does, it says, here's a filter, here's the levels. People will play with it and go, oh, that looks cool. I'm not like that. I will obsess over every frame. I will grade it, I will change it, I will export video after video after video until I have a certain look. The only time that a actual editorial program that wasn't on my phone was used was to assemble it, because it got too big for my phone. My phone was like sparking like it was on fire. It was just like, I can't handle this, and that's why it was always being uploaded to Google Drive here, there, everywhere, because I couldn't assemble it. But everything texturally, visually is from that editing app, and I've just found and I'm really comfortable doing it because I can just sit here on the sofa and just fuck about. It's play, it's experimentation. It's leaning into the mistakes, and it's one of those things where with the director's cut, it's like blast it all on the wall, but it also gives you the opportunity to fill in those gaps. Because I thought it was really interesting where Silus said, actually, there's one thing that I did say on the audio commentary that I think I said, Silus told me that I should show visuals in this part. I didn't do it. Sorry, and but I tried to do.
It's funny though, because when you go through the watch through episode, I think that was a part where Chris, it was during the full, like I want to say it was like 5+ minutes of Lynn Lowry just going on psycho monologue, and it was just like Bradley
with the hair,
brushing a woman's hair, and it was that section specifically. But again, our whole thing was we were sitting here shooting the shit over this thing, whereas really you're supposed to be like hyper fixated on this monologue and listening to all this like fucked up gory details of what this mother is saying and how fucked up and evil it is, while you're watching a dude like creepily stroke a woman's hair in black and white. And that doesn't really work if you're not plugged in, you know, and like if you're not glued to it. Yeah.
But it was really interesting. Because the show don't tell thing was I wouldn't say I'm a filmmaker, I'm an experimentalist, I'm a provocateur. So if someone tells me to do something, I'm not going to do it. Or if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to be light with it. Like there was a sequence that was prolonged where Casio Poe plays the interior voice of Bradley. Now I wanted to say this: Nick did that for free. Also, his contributions to the soundtrack as well. He did all of this for free. He was just gung-ho, and he was just a sensation. I know I've always gone on about Lynn Lowry because she's a name, and, you know, we've all still got a hard-on for her, and we all still have a secret crush on her, she's still a legend. I mean, she's having photo shoots where she's in skimpy underwear with people in a swimming pool. Like, fuck yeah, girl.
Hell yeah.
You put it out there. You own that shit. But Casio Poe really made it. But there was this prolonged sequence that Silus said, it's just long. I like it because I like this shit. But for our audience in general, this is too long. So I went to the local park, and I just fucked with the footage, and I thought, oh no, I need to really ramp this up. Oh, I'm going to put some Mondo footage of dead babies in there. and I thought, yeah, that'll get Silus going. That's showing. That's not telling. So, yeah, and you merged those. You merged that into the poster as well. The distorted faces from that sequence as well on the poster, and I was like, yeah, you spotted it. He got it. But yeah, it was like show don't tell, and it's either one end of the extreme. I'm going to do it really fucking hard, or I'm not going to do it at all. But then I fell in love with the headiness of Lynn Lowry's delivery. She did it once.
Oh damn!
Wow.
Once, just straight through.
Yeah. I think you had mentioned that in the commentary, and I was like, are you saying that's like one fucking take? That's crazy.
Yeah, she only broke once because she needed to restart a recording, but she did it in just one take. All I had to do was cut out page rustling and a couple of but she smashed it, and she got hold of me, and I think she probably like, this kid is not a director, because I said, this is fucking sensational, this is brilliant, you've encapsulated what I really needed for this movie, you've just pushed it in a whole other level, you don't need to do anything else, thank you very much. And she did that as a favour. She didn't have to. And then again, her contribution was then again being taken as a win for me on the behalf of the person who will not be named that I've been shitting on, because she worked on a movie with him. Now,
okay, I was wondering what the connection was, because I was like, oh shit, okay, that's
I was struggling to find an actress, and I wanted a voice apart from someone. It was a stupid fucking idea. He put up an idea that we could cast someone through Indiegogo, so pay for a role. So I was like, okay, let's try this. And this young woman paid for the role. I said, I don't need you to do a British accent, but if you want to try, you can. She did one take, and she's like, sorry, well, I thought that was really good. I sounded really British. And I was like, nah, just stay American. And she blocked me and got a refund. So I was like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Damn.
So I've lost Bradlee's mum. And then the producer, in quotation marks, said, hit up Lynn. And I said, I'm not going to hit up Lynn Lowry. No, I'm not going to fucking do that. He went, oh, I'll do it. A week goes by, she reaches out to me willy-nilly because I added her as a friend on Facebook and said, hi, I'm Lynn Lowry. If there's any projects you would like me to take a look at, because she's still an in-demand actress. She does a lot of indie work. You know, she's not sniffy about what she does. She does a lot of work because that keeps her fed and clothed. You know, she's not very picky about it, but she adds credibility to your work no matter what, because she gives 110 fucking %. And he tried to take credit for it, and I said to her, did he get hold of you? She went, no. She went, I haven't heard from him in a year. And I'm like, here we go again, getting credit where it's not due.
Damn.
But I said to her, I I don't have the budget for you, Lynn. She went, look, I will halve my what is it, like my fee for a day's work. I said it's not going to take you longer than 2 hours to record these lines. It was almost like 15 pages of dialogue. She cut her fee in half. She didn't need to. She didn't have to, but she did. She really liked the script. She said it was probably one of the hardest lines that she had to read in her career, which I felt was a bonus. I disturbed the shit out of Lynn Lowry.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Well, and she disturbed the shit out of us. I mean, that's kind of like the thing, right? Yeah. Is that not only is it like a really good name pull for being involved in the cast, but like that she was definitely the most affecting part for specifically for Lisa. And you know, Lisa doesn't have quite a stomach for a lot of the extreme films that touch into like really extreme, like CSA related, like childhood trauma type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's where it kind of starts to get real icky, and like, yeah, the make mommy come thing. I remember, I think that was her what the fuck moment during the watch through. And that, you know, that performance is like one of the most stark aspects of the entire thing. And it really connotes some of my favorite tropes in classic, like psychological focus, like slasher and character study type films, where it's like the serial killer with like extreme mom trauma, like fucking Maniac or Don't Go in the House or like something like that, where it's like a lot of times these killers are literally hearing these fucked up monologues of their mothers in their heads, and it's like they're still with them as like this part of their fractured psyche. And I think that is a trope that is not nearly as well explored nowadays as it used to be. I think the most mainstream example would obviously be like Jason Voorhees' mother in the Friday the 13th films, but I think that this was something that was, just because of the nature of the film, it was in a league of its own, where it doesn't make me, I didn't even think about that comparison until last night while we were watching it together, the few times that I've run through this at this point, you know. But that is like one of my favorite narrative devices for like serial killer films in general, and I just think she really did knock it out of the park. But to loop back a little bit to the just the untraditional like narrative structure, I think for certain audiences they aren't going to have the stomach for what this particular film is. But I was actually thinking, oh man, this really does have a lot of parallels to the current wave of post-internet creepypasta, post-analog horror stuff, like the sort of thing that movies like Skinamarink and things like that are trying to do within the mainstream zeitgeist and trying to break through with.
Well, that's why I made BRADLEE, because of Skinamarink.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, it's sorry to interrupt you, but it's fascinating because when some bright spark tried to promote BRADLEE on Reddit. They went, "What creepypasta shit is this?" And then people were like, "Fuck! Like, who is this guy in the mask? Like, is this creepypasta?" And I was like, "Okay, that's really fucking cool because it's taken on a life of its own just based upon the mask image."
Right,
and I thought that's what we want. And I was on a podcast recently where the host Brian Bonner he summarized it quite brilliantly. He went, "It's going to be one of those movies that people know about but will never watch." And I'm like, yeah, I think Bradlee's fate is going to be that. And I think that's kind of cool. You know about it. Oh, have you ever seen that underground experimental British-made movie, Bradlee? It's got Lynn Lowry in it. I think it's going to have that reputation because it's inherently inlaid in there, I think. But it's funny. It's funny because I watched Skinamarink, and I'm sorry, I fucking detested it because I looked at the budget. And I said, "Fuck you." I said, "You made this for 15,000. I could do this shit on my phone." So my intended first movie was called Sheet, about a man in a sheet. And it was a little mixture of David Lowry's A Ghost Story, a mixture of Skinamarink, but done in my weird, spasmodic, autistic, hyper ADHD editorial thing. I had about 15 minutes of it done, and then Google Drive just doesn't like me, and it erased it.
Oh, damn.
It just went,
damn.
Bye. Wow. So I tried to fight with Google, and Google's like, "Who the fuck are you? Fuck off."
Yeah.
It's like, "Have you got a lawyer?" I'm like, "No." So it was, I was like, fuck. And then the impetus behind Skinamarink was also reinforced by that movie In a Violent Nature.
Okay.
Which is the similar setup. It's slow and it takes so long to get to the kills. And I thought, you've got like a 35,000 budget on this. I can do this with my mobile phone for free. That was the impetus because it was paired up also back to Liam Regan, who's been really great support as well. He's always come on board as an associate producer, and he's always there to. I'm free to hit him up like I do with you, Silus, and he'll get back to me. And he said, "Don't get in your head about it. Just fucking do it. Get off your arse and just do it." You know, it's like I think a lot of indie artists who want to create and make, they won't do it. They ponder about it. Like I published books for almost 10 years, and so many people came to me and said, I have an idea for a book. I'm going to do it. No, just fucking do it. Don't rest on your laurels. Just fucking do it. Don't get too in your head about it. Attempt to do it. Just fucking do it. Pick up your camera. And that's what I mean about the whole mentality of these big filmmakers saying, pick up your phone and make a movie. Well, you're telling the kids to do this, but at the end of the day, you still need some money behind it. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to make a point that Bradlee is a proof of concept feature film. You know what I mean? This is what I can do on nothing. Imagine what I can do with a budget. That was the intent. And that's why I think I went really fucking hard on the length and the visuals. But yeah, Skinamarink and In a Violent Nature and Liam Regan paired them together, and it was just do it. Just do it, you know. And I saw this guy was making like Slipknot patchwork masks on Instagram. Bled Masks, who makes those masks, a really great guy. And I brought one, and it kind of just took off. It just became its own thing. And it was like #1 trending movie on Indiegogo. But look, it doesn't take much to do that when you're asking for like £5 for a thank you credit on Indiegogo. You know, the algorithm tricks you in thinking that you're popular, but it was trending for a long time, and a lot of people were really engaged. And without that Indiegogo, I wouldn't have met Silus. I wouldn't have made a friend, you know, and it wouldn't have opened up a whole other side of the filmmaking community that I'm more suited to, which is in your area, Silus. You know, this area of what the fuck are you watching?
Oh, for sure. And my thing too is like, I think that hopefully, it just seems like from the anecdotal stuff you have regarding your experiences with people so far working on this stuff, it's like, it is crazy because like, yeah, there's a lot of like hard-headedness and like kind of stubbornness and neurosis within my own like sphere of the zeitgeist and this little overlapping like art scenes and film scenes and whatever, but it's nowhere near as like ridiculous as the stuff that you've already gone through with people. So what I'm hoping for now that you had found yourself kind of kicking around in this neck of the woods, I'm hoping that you don't have to deal with things like that for future projects, because it's like, at least here, people actually want to get shit done. People do shit pro bono all the time just to get stuff made because they just want to do it. Like, it's just like a passion thing. You don't get people doing this whole like, okay, yeah, but like, I want to use it for my own thing, or like, I'm going to do this, but like, you don't really get that here because they want to see the thing they signed up for get made and be a part of that. And that's their sense of like, their semblance of like connection within a community, right? Like, and that's like what they're actually after. It's not about like advancing themselves, just they, them, and themselves alone. Like, it's not really what I've encountered here, regardless of how crazy people are. That's not what I've encountered. It's like, this is where they come to mesh and figure out how to like work with each other and make projects come off the ground and just make art for art's sake. So like, I'm really hoping that you can avoid some of the fucking rigmarole and shiesty nonsense
it has been.
you have to deal with up to this point. Hopefully you don't encounter that again, but if you do, let me know, because I want to know who's doing it.
Yeah,
You know, like,
come on, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, well, Chris, this is the thing. I don't know if you know a story of me and Silus. So it was like a meeting of minds, and I'm really big on voice noting, and I know a lot of people cringe from it and go, "Oh, holy fucking shit!" So I sent like probably one of the longest voice notes to Silus ever, and not only did the sweetheart reply in response, he did a fucking video where he was doing breakdowns of the type of stylistic things he was thinking about the posters, and I was just like, fuck yeah, this is my person. He gets it. He's invested. And he pulled up the menu of the it was the 7 Blu-ray, wasn't it?
Yeah, 7, and then Lucky McKee's May, and
yes,
the Corn Deuce DVD, like, and some shit like that. Yeah.
And you were just going through it, and you're like, I'm sorry if this is too much. And I'm like, it's not too much. This is the shit that I've been looking for. And this is the thing, you get spoilt as an artist or an individual, because having that experience with you, then I go to other people and anticipate that it's going to be a similar thing, and then they don't live up to that expectation. It's kind of like, why aren't you more like Psychonauts? why aren't you more like Silus? Why aren't you more like this person? Like Jacob B. Green as well. Like, that motherfucker didn't have to put BRADLEE out. That motherfucker didn't even have to put out Morer, you know, but he's in that place where he seems to understand that I'm striving. What was it he said? Burgeoning. I'm a burgeoning filmmaker. I'm trying to reach somewhere. You know, I can do better. I want to do better. And Jacob has nurtured that with that belief. And I think that's why the bone of contention of the first half of Rodney came from was, don't just be trapped in what you've done before. Breathe, move on. And, you know, being an artist, you're like, oh, he doesn't like my shit, but we've never come to blows over it. Like, I don't want people to I don't want Jacob to listen to this and think that we came to blows or I'm shitting on him. But Jacob's in that place now where he's building up a reputation for his own distribution company. He's getting some really impressive titles going. He's putting his own work out there, which I think is important as well, because I think what happens is, if you put yourself in the chair as distributor, your own artwork falls to the wayside, whereas he's still going to put out his own stuff, and I'm really glad that that's still a forefront. Also, when I found out how young this motherfucker was when he started doing this, my jaw dropped. He's very young. He started putting out movies at the age of 18.
Wow.
Oh, dude, there are a few people like that in the scene, and it blows my mind all the time. It always makes me feel a lazy motherfucker.
Yeah, me too. Because
waited, and I went through school, and I did all this shit. And they were just like, "Oh, I started in high school, and just because I wanted to." And I was like, "Fuck me, dude! I should have been a bigger risk taker. That's crazy."
No,
like,
me too.
Good for
me
you.
Too. Because, like, I said to myself, why did it take me until I was about 30 years old to decide to start making movies? Like, what were you doing when you were 18, Zach? And it's back to almost the that slacker mentality. Well, I'm just
I was playing fucking Call of Duty.
Yep.
and watching movies and thinking, oh, what if?
Yeah.
And just not doing any of it, doing any of the work.
And I admire every motherfucker who's a doer, and it's kind of that mentality now where I've got to do, and it's like what Ozzy Osbourne said. It's, no, I've done it. I can't see myself not doing it. I mean, I've had some wobbles recently where I'm like, I can't do this anymore, but that's more pressure put on myself rather than any external factors. But, you know, by having a little bit of a break, because I get hyper obsessed and fucking focused on shit to a very detrimental degree. So if I don't have something to work on, I fall into a deep, dark, depressive state and think that I'm just going to die, or
Right.
I'm never going to create again. But then I smash out like 7 books. I open up my press. I've got several books that I'm going to publish. There's a new thing to obsess over. And then on the side, I'm making Norm, which is probably my favourite thing personally so far, because it's leaning into all the fetishistic things that I love about shot on video movies. And it's you just got to find your, and it's like Ozzy Osbourne said, it's the air that I breathe, and I can't think of a future where I don't do this now. And like if no motherfucker wants to distribute my movies or wants to fund my movies, I'm still going to do it for me because I enjoy it, and it's the air I breathe, man. It's the air I breathe, Sharon. So
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold on. You guys can keep going for a second if you want. I have to pee so bad. I'll be right back.
Okay, keep chugging the beers.
Hell yeah.
All I can do, Chris, is apologize that you had to suffer through Bradley.
No, man. Hey, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. So
No, I think this is the thing with any type of filmmaker. If you get them on, you're like, oh, I don't know how to approach it. I'm just so open, and I'm like, man, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I think that's awesome. Like, I used to go out my way to say to people, look, if you don't like my books, can you at least just leave a really shitty review?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
just because, you know, the shit reviews get as much attention as the popular ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there's no bad press.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, man, I thought there was some really good parts to it, and I think like Silus was saying, when it comes to, you know, editing and lighting and all that, there was really no notes. I thought it was great.
Yeah, the light there. I think the thing is with the whole fucking lighting of a movie. I think loads of people think it's secondary now, and I think a lot of the time it is saved in color grading. Because you see so many Hollywood movies now, and you're like, it's saved in the color grade. Like Ridley Scott, he films with like 12 cameras now, doesn't he? And he doesn't really give a fuck about filming it like a traditional movie and lighting it anymore. So his long-term cinematographer pal, I think it was John Matheson, badmouthed Ridley Scott in the press and went, I can't work like this. How can I light a scene when I've got 12 cameras? And Ridley Scott was just like, fuck you. And it was like, oh, shit. And, but that's the truth. And then you see the footage in like the special features on the Blu-ray, and it looks like shit.
Oh,
it's shit. It's not lit well at all. It's secondary, the lighting, but then it's saved in the post-production process. So a lot of the time I went in thinking, wow, my camera's really shit anyway, so I've got to make sure that the lighting is decent enough or it's cinematic. And the real godsend was, I didn't even know these existed, clip-on lenses that you can get for your mobile.
Oh,
so
okay.
Really little tiny little lenses that go over the focal, and it just clips on like you're clipping on a bow tie, and it really helped the movie, because otherwise you just have that really baseline look of a film, you know, where you look at something and you go, oh, that's filmed on a phone.
Yeah.
But no, the edit and the pairing of edit and lighting, it's like, it was the visuals. It was just me shitting out up a wall and going, look at that, it's high art. Whereas I know it wasn't. And but then with Rodney, though, it's going to be, I think that everything that worked for Bradley is going to be put into Rodney, but it's going to be a more professional endeavour. It's going to be, you know, I've got fucking equipment for it, man. I've got a 9-foot crane. I have camera rigs, jibs. I have microphones. But also the saving grace has been this Sony Handycam. it is so fucking textural, you know, like you can film the most mundane sequence, or you can just do an exterior shot of the wind blowing through the trees, and it's just got this dirty, gritty, seedy texture to it. And
Hell yeah.
You know what's crazy about that, Zach? When I did my film stuff for that fucking college project I was talking to you about, the whole thing that made me so interested in Bradley to begin with, I was just using a fucking old Sony Handycam that I got from like a fucking storage at my workplace, where they were like, "We're not going to do anything with this. You can just take it." And I ended up just doing so much with it, and it was that was like what made it, because everything looked so good on it. Everything looked so cool, and it looked so gritty and so nasty and so like August Underground, like fucking basement snuff tape type bullshit.
Yes,
and it just made blood look way more viscous and dark and full figured than it actually was, even if it's just like shitty, like Halloween store red Crayola stage blood. It looks like real
corn
nasty,
syrup with
real
some
shit.
color in,
like, it just makes it just does so much of the work for you, and that fucking like hyper high contrast and like the sound of like the machine and the gears whirring inside of the camera while it works, and like all that stuff. It just makes it a whole different,
it's delicious,
whole different ballgame. Yeah.
It's like, I showed you some of the stuff on Rodney, and you're like, fuck, that Handycam is fire. You're just like, yes. Because it does. There's a integrity to it. Like, I'm really interested in seeing Chris Stuckman's debut movie, Shelby Oaks, because he's doing a lot with his with like standard like Handycam shit, found footage, shot and video stuff. I think a lot of people give him so much shit, but I think, fuck yeah, man. You know, you've been talking about movies for so long. You've been trying so hard to get to a place where you can make a movie. So fucking what that Mike Flanagan saw something in you and wanted to produce it and wanted to give you a bigger budget to see it to its full vision. Why would anyone want to knock you for that? I think fucking go for it, sunshine. And I think it's really exciting when you see film fans become filmmakers, like Paul Schrader. He was a film critic before he was a filmmaker, you know, and then he goes on to write like Taxi Driver. He's done Hiroshima. He's done so much stuff, some good, some bad, but it's good. I think you have to come from a place of being a fucking fan, otherwise, or you're just David Lynch, who has no fucking interest in movies. I like moving paintings, and then it's a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating.
This is a complete aside, but are you a fan of The Raid? Like The Raid 1 and 2, the action films?
Yes, I love them.
Yeah, okay. So, did you ever see Gareth Evans' first movie?
Which one was that?
It was called Footsteps. And Unearthed Films actually put out a release of it on DVD back in the day. It was my very first thing that I picked up from Unearthed, actually. And it's not a popular one in the catalog at all. A lot of people are not into it. They don't really get it. I really like it. It is about this guy who is just like real down on his luck, just trying to scrape by, get the funds to live. And I think maybe there's a subplot where he's like trying to take care of a sick family member or something along those lines. So it's like the desperation is really amped up, you know. But he is he kind of gets roped into some like petty organized crime, and then it starts to escalate and then it turns out he's like actually working for an organization that is producing snuff films. And it culminates in him kind of going in and just like wiping out this fucking place full of these dudes that are like sitting around in the production studio for these snuff films. And it's like pretty gritty, very similar to fucking oh god, what was it? The movies that the trilogy that fucking Mads Mikkelsen was in, Maz Mikkelsen, and Pusher. It was Pusher. Yeah, it's very similar to Pusher. It's like Pusher, but extremely bare bones. And
I didn't know that he had a movie before the Raid one. This is the first I've heard of it.
And it is very much, it's got that like really gritty, like lo-fi, like very green, early 2000s, late 90s kind of color tone thing going on in it. And it's I really like it a lot. I think you would really like it a lot. It's another one of those things that like is why your sensibilities kind of resonate with me in terms of filmmaking and just like the visual look of the finished picture. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. But that's neither here nor there. It just it's made me think
Oh
of it
no,
while
but
you're talking about it.
I love what that motherfucker does with the camera. Like, if you watch the special features to the Raid 2, like the levels of where they go to film, like the camera getting passed from car to car through a car. It's amazing. And then you watch his new movie on Netflix, and it's just a CGI fucking dump of muddy colours where he's trying to capture that gritty aesthetic, but it ends up looking like a coloured version of Sin City. It has that stylistic feeling to the vehicles. Now, it works because Sin City's in black and white, and then there's inflections of colour, and it's of a certain era and a certain time. But saying that, I like Sin City too. And
I love Sin City too. I was just talking about that the other day with somebody.
Like seeing Eva Green fucking butt nude in 3D was heaven. I could have been. I think I was going to be pulled out of the cinema because my hand was reaching down, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "It's in 3D. The 3D wasn't good in 300." Rise of the
she's
Empire,
right here with
me. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, his movie Havoc, I had to turn it off because I thought he's lost that tactility that he does, where everything is done mostly in camera or there's trickery involved. It was just lazy for me, and I really hated it. But then again, I'm the type of person who likes big, colourful CGI dumps. Like, I always recommend people watch Frank Miller's The Spirit, and everyone goes, "What? That piece of shit?" But I'm obsessed with it because it's a Frank Miller movie, like an original Frank Miller movie. Like this is as close to a new Frank Miller graphic novel we could get. And even though it had the tone and sensibility of a Dick Tracy movie, I thought that juxtaposition was beautiful. I thought it was fucking ridiculous having Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as a Nazi talking about fucking cutting off ears and shit, But my taste in films are like odd. I like Gods of Egypt, and everyone hates that movie, and I'm like, no, that shit's fucking fun. But then you get certain filmmakers like this is a. I don't know if you've seen the latest trailer for Sam Raimi's new movie.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yeah, this guy is he's out.
Hang it up.
He's pulled the plug. Yeah, because this feels like any generic Lionsgate survival thriller. It did not feel like a Sam Raimi movie. And that Doctor Strange movie, I listened to that audio commentary. Motherfucker did not say anything. The only person who said, oh, look, this Sam Raimi shot, I put this in the script. And it was Michael Waldron at the time. And he was like basically saying, all this is Sam Raimi. And Sam Raimi's like, yeah, nice paycheck.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, I think that it is sad to see kind of where he's been stuck to now. I've liked some of the newer stuff that he's been involved in, but like he is also one of those people that is so like studio stuck at this point that it's like
he can't make anything without a big budget now. That's the problem, I think.
Yeah, well, and I tell people too, like, one of the things that you hate to see is when like an indie project that gets picked up by a big studio and you're like, oh shit, they're giving that guy a shot. Sounds awesome. And then you see the longer it goes on, it gets stuck in development hell and the date keeps getting pushed back, and you see a laundry list of studios and producer names get added to it. And one of them is always Sam Raimi. And I hate that this is where he's at now, but it feels like if I see a movie and it's produced by 12 people and one of them is Sam Raimi, then it means that movie has been put out the pasture. Like it is, it's done, It's dead in the water. And that happened to one of my favorite indie directors, Nicholas Pesh. He made that fucking reboot of The Grudge that had Lin Shaye in it. And that had the potential to be so much. And I swear, watching it in the theater, because I was so versed in his stuff at that time, it felt like I was like, I can see the half of this movie that was his.
What he was,
and I can see how it got just completely shafted and shot to shit by every other hand that got put in the pot to make this thing into whatever the hell they thought they wanted it to be. And then lo and behold, it's exactly what happens every time they do that to one of these guys, and they give them no trust and no creative control. It was a fucking flop.
It was a flop.
Bombed,
It was a
like,
flop commercially, box office wise. Like, it's heartbreaking because when Sam Raimi returned to horror with Drag Me to Hell, it felt like a welcome return, and everyone expected that trajectory. But the problem with Sam Raimi is he's in that place like a Christopher Nolan. I can't make movies anymore over a certain budget. I can't, like Christopher Nolan has said flat out, I cannot make a Memento, I cannot make a Following, I can't make a Doodlebug. It's not in me as a filmmaker. I am so institutionalized to this methodology of making movies now. The fact is that Raimi returned for the pilot of Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which that trilogy of a series is the perfect encapsulation of what Fede Alvarez introduced with his pseudo sequel and what came before. I love that series, and I was like, yes, Raimi at the head. Turns out Raimi had fuck all to do with the rest of the seasons. Fuck all.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, when his name appears in credits now, you don't get that sense of, oh fuck yeah. You go, oh. It's like it's
almost become a harbinger of doom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that. Like, I hate that because the Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead, is my favorite horror movie. It was one of my most formative films as a child. It was like the reason I'm fucking here, and to see where he's at now just because of like the studio process and the notoriety and the status that he has within it, and where he's now, it's kind of become a cage, and it's his confines at this point. It really fucks things up, and that's why I'm like, I do think that with a lot of these directors, especially with what you were saying about the new Gareth Evans thing, it's like there is this sweet spot, right, in terms of like where you actually want to be creatively and how much notoriety you actually want to gain. Because if you actually get too far involved, then you will have your soul sucked out by all these people that come in and say, okay, cool. Well, you can't do that anymore. And then they will beat you down with it until you literally can't make your movies anymore. And it's like, then why the fuck did you hire me in the first place?
The individual, I forgot his name, who did the remake of The Grudge. His movie before
Nicholas
that
Passion.
was Pearson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he did Pearson, it was like for me, it felt like a transitionary period when I watched that movie. You could see that he was still him as an artist and a creator and director, but you could see that there was a bit of inflection with the cast members he had, and also with the levels of just the way it felt a level up, but it didn't feel like he was breaking the bank. So naturally, if you hear, oh, he's going to do The Grudge, your inclination is, oh fuck, that motherfucker's going to bring something to the table, isn't he? He's going to do something different.
And watching it, I think he definitely did, but they shafted his ass. They fucking ruined that project for him, and it fucking sucks, man.
And then they struggled to go back.
Yeah,
they struggled to go back from it because these studios.
He hasn't done anything since. Yeah, no, exactly. It happened to Jeremy Saunier, the guy that did Green Room and Blue Ruin. He got picked up by Netflix, and he got thrown into some Netflix movies, and they didn't get any nearwhere as much buzz. And he's been working on something behind the scenes, but it's been years and years and years at this point. And it's like sometimes success is literally a career killer at this point. And it's
do you know who's not been corrupted by this? And I don't know if you're as aware of him. I think you've covered one of his films, Ben Wheatley.
Kill List.
Kill List. Yep. So he went on to do the Meg too, the Trench. Huge megabucks blockbuster. Everyone scratched their chin, and I spoke to Ben at a podcast event about this. And Corin Hardy, another horror director, was there. I've got a little bit of a relationship with Ben Wheatley. It's not friendship. It's pretty much I bump into him, he entertains me. He is fucking awesome. So I came along, and he was lined up to do Tomb Raider, and Corin Hardy turned around. I don't know if you've seen his movie, A Field in England.
No.
Watch it, because it's a sensational movie that was shot in the East Sussex countryside where I live, in about 3 days, and it's about basically a man getting off his nut on shrooms whilst evading capture from an army. It's a really trippy psychedelic movie, and Corin Hardy said to him, he went, "Oh, so you're going to do Tomb Raider in the style of A Field in England?" And Ben's like rolling his eyes, and I started joshing, going, "Oh, are you going to bring the Ben Wheatley sensibilities to it?" And he went, "There ain't any Ben Wheatley sensibilities." I was like, "Oh, come on, you know." So he then got trapped in a contract with Warner Brothers. Should I be sharing this? Oh, I'm going to share it anyway. He got trapped in a contract with Warner Brothers where they basically kicked him off Tomb Raider because it was in development hell. And it was meant to be a sequel to that 2018 one with Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
And he then was basically given the option, here's another big movie that you can put your name towards, The Meg 2, The Trench. And he was like, fuck it. What Ben Wheatley is so ingenious with is he did this with Netflix. I'll do one for you, and then what money I get, I'm going to put back into my productions. And he puts it back where it counts. So he has Rook Films, his own company, his film company that puts out movies by people like Peter Strickland, who did The Duke of Burgundy, In Fabric, Barbarian Sound Studio.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Barbarian.
Yeah, he puts his money where his mouth is. And like when you see Ben Wheatley's name on these smaller movies, you know that this motherfucker has worked in the trenches to ensure that other filmmakers of his caliber and ilk can get their stuff made. And that's why I love him. So he went off from The Meg 2, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to be caught in the confines. No. He stipulated, no, I'm filming all of this in London. And they were like, you don't want to come to LA? You don't want to? He went, no, I'm just filming it in a huge tank in London. I want to be close to home, Brighton, where he lives. I think he's moved now, though. And he had total control of that fucking ship. Of course, they intervened. But what he did was basically, as soon as he finished The Meg 2, you started seeing an influx of independent comics that he started releasing, where he started putting out comics out of his own pocket. And you're going, this motherfucker's earned the hugest check of his career, and he's just paying it back. And that's why I fucking love Ben Wheatley.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and
he cares about indie art. He doesn't give a fuck about the big studio bullshit.
No. So he did a remake of exactly, and he did a remake of Rebecca, which has been adapted ad infinitum. Like Hitchcock did it. It's a Daphne du Maurier novel. Yeah. It's a psychotic melodrama, and it's actually a really good adaptation that he did. It's got the cannibal in it, Armie Hammer.
Hell yeah.
And he did that project with Netflix, and after he was marketing it at the time when he was at the event where I cornered him and wouldn't let him go. And he said, no one's offered me any work apart from Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers is a contract type thing. You get slammed in. So you're either going to direct something for us or you will never do anything for us ever. It's like the old contract in Hollywood where you ship out actors. And this is what happens when you get part of the Marvel train as an actor. You are signed on for 10 years of your life. And it was kind of a scenario with Ben Wheatley where, well, you're not making Tomb Raider, but do you want to make The Meg? And I think he was just rubbing his hands with glee because he could then do a big bombastic CGI B movie, and he did that with The Meg 2. And I like The Meg 2 because it's just a B movie that gives no fucks. He did what he wanted to do, but at the end of the day, he paid it back, and he came back here. He did a zombie TV series where only elderly people become zombies. Really good series. I can't remember the name of it. I will have to send it to you. It's really fucking good, and it's got all of these classically trained stage actresses, like from the heyday, and he's just having them be psychotic fucking zombies just ripping into teenagers. It's brilliant. And you can see that all these like classically trained like actresses who are in their 90s, like playing these zombies, they're like just leaving their ego at the fucking door and just going for it. And like that's what I really appreciate about Ben Wheatley, and he's just made them.
Generation Z.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah.
Okay.
If you can get hold of it your end, I recommend it. It's just bug nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pure Ben Wheatley. It's got that deadpan sense of humor about it. But he's made another movie recently, which is like a probably his most experimental, and it feels like a mixture of an episode of David Lynch's third season of Twin Peaks and an Ed Wood movie.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Like it's got like
we
it's
love
got
some Twin Peaks around here.
Love it.
Yeah, no, I've got to, and it's it's crazy because it's like this trailer came out and it triggered people because he put up a warning about computer graphics and everyone started jumping on board the whole AI gravy train, like, oh, you're admitting you used AI, and he went, no, I just used it to piss you off. But he's been doing like these action sequences where you can see the string hanging off of an airplane, and it looks like Thunderbirds or Captain Scarlet, you know, those puppet shows in the 60s and that, and it just really leaning into the lo-fi nature of it, and it's just Ben Wheatley hasn't lost it. He's a cheeky bugger, and that's why I really like him. He's a lovely bloke, you know. I literally have been stalking him unofficially for years, and every time I bump into him, he always wants to chat. He doesn't mind, but the first time I met him was at 10 o'clock at night. I was going for a walk. I was chain smoking. I was having a bad day, and I see this chubby man putting his bins out. So I crossed the street. I went, you're Ben Wheatley. And he just froze. And he just turned around with his bin bag in his hand and was like, yeah. And this was like 10 at night. I was like, good morning. And he just looked me up and down like, oh my God, this kid is fucking going to kill me. and then the following time that I met him, I went, I'm the guy that said good morning at like midnight. He went, that was you there. I was like, yeah, that was me. I was like, you remembered me? He was like, yeah, it's pretty hard not to forget someone just running at you from the darkness, screaming your name. But he's so chill, man. He's so chill, and he's one of those peak indie artists, you know. And he feeds it back. And, you know, in an ideal fucking world, I wish I could be like that, you know. If I ever get to a point where, like even Silus, you referred to it, if someone wants to come forward and wants to collaborate, I'm always happy. You know, I'm always happy and willing to collaborate. It's fun for me. I enjoy it, but my tolerance for bullshit has just run out at this point.
Right.
But it's all fun and games at the end of the day until it fucking isn't. But you know what? It's fun, and I think that's what it's got to be at the end of the day. And I really love that you've got a Planet Terror poster. I've just noticed it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah,
Love that movie.
Film. Yeah, love that film. Love it. I think Quentin Tarantino should be fucking ashamed of himself the way he separated himself from Quentin separated from Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But then again, Robert Rodriguez has become part of that system where he's trapped now. He's trapped in Netflix land making his kid movies.
Give me fucking, man, give me the good Robert Rodriguez kid movies, dude.
Hell yeah,
back
dude.
in the day.
Spy Kids 1, Spy Kids 2,
that was
Spy
some
Kids
of the
3.
weirdest shit in the world. It's so cool. And man, there has not been anything like that in family films ever since. That's good shit. And also just his old movies as well. The whole Mariachi trilogy is just unreal. Yeah, with all that in mind, going back to in general, yeah, people really need to check out BRADLEE. They need to check out Mourir in Silence. They need to check out Rodney when that comes to be. I genuinely think, Zach, that you've got huge chops for everything you're doing creatively. I really need for somebody to conscript you to be their like aesthetic editing videography lead on some sort of project. And like you said, he has no tolerance for bullshit, and that's exactly how you need to be. But people out there who want to get somebody to help produce their shit in a cool way, whether it be your indie film that you have a good narrative sense for, but you don't know about what you want to fucking do with the visuals, or people that need music videos or something like that. Like I need to see more of Zak's vision and his editing and his camera work and his videography getting put into creative projects. So you should definitely hit him up. But before that, what you need to do is you need to go to Tarnished Vision Films and buy yourself a copy of Bradley and check out what is essentially, to me, one of the most insane fucking reels, one of the most insane clip shows of what somebody has in terms of showing how up the snuff they are to do something visually. It's like watching MTV's Liquid Television if you were in hell inside of like a Rust World apartment in Silent Hill. And I think that is something you need to get behind and check out, and you need to check out his new stuff because he's definitely up and coming. He's definitely got an upward trajectory going for him, and he's got the passion and the know-how and the knowledge to do it. And also, just you need to get on that before the train rolls out and he's inaccessible to you.
Yeah, until Sam Raimi gets hold of me and fucks me.
Right.
Yeah. Don't be hitting up Zach when he's got 12 producers on his movies and one of them Sam Raimi.
I wouldn't even be able to fucking cope. I can barely cope with one fucking producer. No, I've got to give due where due's. The real producer behind all my endeavours, who ensures that everything actually gets done, is Laura. Laura, I can't overstate how important she is to the films and the press that I ran. None of this was a reality without her going, you can do it, I will help you if need be. She isn't passionate about this shit like I am, but she's always willing to do it because she knows how important it is to me. And she's basically my Sharon Osbourne at this stage in my life. She's very much She puts me in good stead. She keeps me grounded, but she's also a no-nonsense person. Sadly, I'm a loudmouth, and I will go on a public platform like a podcast and pull people up on their bullshit. But that's what it is. But she's very calm. She's very, I wouldn't say mild-mannered, because if you get her on the wrong side, she will put you in your place. But she is my bedrock, and I enjoy doing it with her, and I think that's what's important going forward with all collaborations. And anyone who is interested, I know that a lot of people will probably listen to this and go, "Oh, ain't got a lot of good things to say." Well, don't fuck me over, It doesn't take much to be respectful. It doesn't take much to be a decent human being. It doesn't take much to understand that we're all in the same fucking boat. We're striving to leave an impression.
Exactly,
We're
on the same team.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
It's all about leaving an impression at the end of the day, and that's our as artists. Our reach for immortality isn't cryogenics. It's for leaving a lasting impression. I love the idea that Bradley is out of print. It's just not spoken about. Then one day someone will come across a Blu-ray and go, "Oh, look, a Blu-ray. I'm interested in watching Blu-rays because I'm not having it graphically projected in the back of my fucking eyeballs. Let's put this on an old Blu-ray. Oh fuck, this is some dirty ass movie." I don't have my sights set on working with Blumhouse, or I don't make that type of shit. But what I want to do is I do want to be a better filmmaker. I do want to grow. I do want to retain that semblance of freedom. And I think that a lot of people should just fucking do it. I might turn into Shia LaBeouf. Just do it!
Yeah.
Just fucking Do it.
Don't let
You
your
cannot
dreams be.
cheat. Don't let your dreams be. And doing that weird shit with his hand and then throwing an invisible baseball at the camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it. If you really want to make a movie, make a movie. You know, you've got it in your hand. And now I'm turning into one of those filmmakers. But unlike Spike Lee, I don't have money.
No, for
unlike,
real, I get it.
unlike Spike, you know, like it's the and another filmmaker that I really admire is Steven Soderbergh. You know, he's had one of the weirdest careers ever, and the trajectory's gone up, it's gone down, but he's always made movies because it's a compulsion and it's a need, and no one's stopped him. And I think that's the problem is when you get into the hierarchy, you're dependent upon finance. If you really want to create something, you fucking do it. If you want to write a book, you write a book. Like an individual got hold of me recently and went, "Oh, I see that your press is starting up again. Would you like this book that I offered to you 2 years ago?" And my honest reaction was, if you are too fucking lazy to put that book out yourself in those 2 years, don't come to me, because I'm not going to fucking do it. If you aren't going to put yourself out to go, I'm going to put this book out because I believe in it, why are you expecting another press to do it for you? Oh, yeah, because you want them to fork out loads of money to get copies to you. I know this business inside out, and I don't like the whole advantageous side of it. And it's the same mentality. Stop saying you're going to do it and just fucking do it, because there's no one stopping you but yourself. And that's the honest truth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a mic drop moment?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, I think with that, words of wisdom from Zach, from Mr. Zak Ferguson, all the way across the pond in the UK. Chris, do you want to cap it here? We're doing pretty good on time. This is one of our longest, but I think one of the most content-rich interviews that we've done.
I thought
so
it was
far.
a damn good one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man, before we let you go, you got anything else you want to plug? Social medias or whatnot?
Yeah, Sweat Drenched Writ on Instagram. I've got a couple of new books available on Amazon. It's Jeff Bezos. Neurotic Vagrancy. It's basically a book that's very similar. This is the thing about my books. My books are very similar to my movies. It's not easy. It's it's like someone shot you in the head, but it hasn't actually fully penetrated or fucked you up, but it's messed you up enough, you know? So Neurotic Vagrancy is available. I've got a book that is Life is One Long Argument, and it's just written as conversations between people. There's no miscellaneous descriptions. There's no he said, she said, he responded. It's just conversations, and the characters become defined through the dialogue. So you've got to have to stick with it. But that's a book that I'm very proud of. I wrote that in about 3 hours, and I just rushed it together, made the cover, put it out, and within about 24 hours it was out there, and it's been one of my most popular releases out of everything. So
wow, nice.
I'm doing something right with it. And the movies are on tarnishedvision.com. Keep your eyes out for Norm. Norm is a shot-on-video horror comedy, and the whole premise is Norm is a zombie in a world where zombies are illegal. How did he get a free pass?
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
And how he got a free pass is really politically incorrect, and it will upset a few people, but it's going to be one of the most funniest sequences in the movie. It's going to be a mixture of shot on video, found footage, mock doc, and screen life. So I'm taking all of those elements that kind of bracketed under the same umbrella, but doing it in my Zak Ferguson way. It's one of those movies where the audio pops and crackles on the tape, you know. The audio distorts, and it's just fucking delicious. And I'm really excited to get back to work on Rodney, because that's going to be the most fucked up shit I think people we'll see in the underground recently. I'm not going in the whole fucking Lucifer Valentine direction. No. But it's still fucked up shit. It's still fucked up shit. But it's also going to be quite polished. But it's still going to have that demented textural synergy that's very much evident in Bradley. It's just got a bigger budget. But even with everything that's got a bigger budget, you still never have enough, and I think that's good because it keeps you on your fucking toes.
Yeah, it's the way you make art when you're forced to deal with the shortcomings of that makes it memorable and special, and carves out some sort of a real niche or identity for it and a character within the final product. But yeah, separate from the film stuff, for people that want to catch up in the meantime, please check out any of the Sweat Drenched press stuff that you can get your hands on prior to Rodney going back into production and coming out. Also check out In Cassio Poe's writings. He has a ton of fucking books out there, including one that is a kind of a companion piece sort of thing where it's like him stuck together and writing with Kenji Shiratori, who we talked about earlier. Very cool piece. You really need to check out all of the stuff that's adjacent to what Zach is doing with film, because he's actually been around for a while, and he's been doing lots of cool shit.
Yeah, and Cassio Poe, I don't think that guy gets enough recognition. He's writing the types of books that go alongside the types of films that we love. You know, he's people really lean on Peter Sotos, but I'm like, fuck Peter Sotos, read N. Cassio Poe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
All right, well, Zach, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It was
thank you very much.
Awesome conversation. I loved it. Check out fucking Bradley. Shit, man. I guess that's it for another action-packed episode of What the Fuck Are You Watching? Say bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
That's damn good.
Did you think this podcast was as good as instant noodles? Or is it more like a cobalt blue tarantula? Leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening to this podcast at. Get in touch with us at WTFareyouwatchingpod@gmail.com, where you can leave reviews for the movies we've been watching, recommend other movies for us to watch, or leave any questions or comments for us to answer. Either way, thanks for listening.